My new thing lately when I don't want to do my makeup is just some blush to liven up the face. It really helps, especially on camera. But yes, welcome to another vlog. It's currently Thursday. I just went on a walk, as you saw. And then I got back and I was handling some bills because I checked the mailbox on the way home. And I was like, I gotta deal with all this stuff. And let me tell you, it was a bit of a mess. Well, I have a UPS bill that I couldn't even pay because you have to put in the invoice number and the account number, and it kept saying there's no account number, and I'm like, this is exactly what it says on the bill. Like, I don't know what you want from me. And I'm trying to check my banking to see if they've just automatically charged me for it somewhere. Can't see anything. So I don't know how I'm supposed to pay that bill. And what's annoying about that one too is it was from a return, because when the Canada Post strike 2.0 was happening, I was like, I don't want to send stuff Canada Post again and have it get stuck and not ship out, so I'll ship through UPS. But now with the current tariff situation in the US, my American customers were having the most outrageous fees charged, and so people rejected their packages and I refunded everybody. Now most of those packages I never did get back. I got back maybe 5 out of the 20 I sent that day, and they'll periodically send me a bill for the returns. So I have to pay the return postage plus an additional return fee on top of it. It's not even worth it. If I'd known I had to pay this, I would just reject the returns, but I can't because they just throw them on the front porch. Then 2 weeks later I get a bill. So that's frustrating. And then the second bill issue was also related to this same Canada Post strike incident, because when I was trying to sign up for accounts that could give me a good UPS rate, I tried signing up for Pitney Bowes and I never could create the account fully because they send a welcome email and I have to enter a code from the welcome email to activate the account, but I never did get that email, so I couldn't activate it, and so I just gave up on that. Well, 2 weeks later I did get the welcome email, but I never finished setting up the account. But one of the bills I got today was from them. And I was like, no way, I'm not paying this. I've never even used their services. I needed to get this charge to go away and close the account. But of course, there's no way to do that online. And I was even considering just paying the charge to appease them, but you couldn't use credit card. You could only link your bank account. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't want them charging me additional fees. And so yeah, I called in and I had to like weave my way through their menu before I could ask for a representative. And I get through, I'm giving the person my account number, and then it kicks me back to the hold music. And then it reconnects me to the person, and then the call drops. And so I had to like go through the whole process again. Got to another representative and it's seemingly sorted. They put everything forth to get the account canceled and the charge removed. So that was my little bill paying adventure this morning. Nothing but roadblocks. It's just insane that the fallout from that strike fiasco is still happening. Anyway, it's Thursday. It's the day after the made-to-order embroidery launch, so Christian's been working hard. He's embroidering all this stuff, like old embroidery designs, and you can pick what color sweatshirt it's on. Same for t-shirts. I think he's starting on some t-shirts today. And Pink Luna was only ever on 4XL, 5XL navy, so now you can get it in all sizes. These are finally back because these sold out quite quickly, and I never did restock the Halloween Cat sweatshirts, so this is their first ever restock. I packed up some orders yesterday, so now I'm going to get those orders bagged up, ready for today's mail pickup. And then anything else I pack today will end up going out on Monday's pickup. Because we're back to the twice a week pickup. I was doing once a week only while the store was really slow, and now that we're like back into the swing of things, I've got the twice a week pickups. I need to steal this. I've been using the wire thingy for general trash, but I need it for bagging the bags. Bagging the boxes. Don't spill. not going to tie that off yet because I want to see if there are any other orders I can pack just to add because the bag is not quite full. This is one I could have packed last night. Maybe I skipped over it by accident. A lot of the ones I'm skipping right now, I have to skip because there's a t-shirt in the order. And so we have the sweatshirt ready, but not the t-shirt. So Sarah's getting a black zip and an aqua zip. I can do this one for Lauren, the forest green hoodie with the pink Luna, because he hasn't done any t-shirts or strawberry or stationery. I think he has one of the stationery sweatshirts on the machine right now. That limits what orders I can pack at the moment, but this works out because I just need a few to pad out the bag I'm filling, and then the rest isn't going to go out till Monday anyway. I can fit another order in there. So we're doing another one. This is for Patricia. Lunamoth sketchbook. Lunamoth crew neck. And 2 of the zips. Big box. Let's put the Luna on the top since you can actually see the embroidery. It'll look cuter upon opening. A sprinkle of crinkle. There's not room for much. Sticker and thank you card. I folded so many boxes yesterday and then ended up using almost exclusively poly mailers. But here we go. We're using one of them. Now that bag's nice and full. So there's today's pickup. Now I just have to print off the manifest for the shipments. Now I need to get some editing done because I took my first 2 days of the week as admin days. Because what I've been doing lately is, as far as Monday through Thursday goes, 2 of those days are admin days, 2 days are filming days. And I can split that up however I want. But usually I'll alternate. But then this week I took the first 2 days of the week to be admin days. And so I need to catch up on some editing because usually I'll do the editing during the admin day, but I hadn't filmed yet, so there was nothing to edit. And when I say admin days, I mean admin and art. It's just that lately it's been almost exclusively admin because there was so much prep for the made to order stuff. But now that that's done, I can actually devote more time to art. Anyway, I need to edit, so let's sit down and do some of that because the vlog I'm currently editing needs to be up for tomorrow. I could hear Christian making noises like he was in pain. And it turns out he pinched his finger real bad between some embroidery hoops because they're strong magnets. It looks like it's gonna blister real bad. It's hours later. I finished up the vlog edit. I still have to upload it, but as soon as I was done the thumbnail, we had to take off because we were meeting up with a couple friends. One lives here in town, one does not live here, but was in town for a business trip, and so we met up for supper. And we were at this food hall where there are a bunch of different food places, kind of like a food court, I guess, but no big name chains. It's all small local businesses, and there's cuisines from different countries. I took some pictures of what I had. So from one place I got this stuffed potato. It was like mashed potato, stuffed and fried. Oh, so good. And from another place I got these dill pickle pierogies. Also amazing. Like both were just fantastic. But yeah, it's now 7 o'clock. Where has the day gone? I'm going to quickly open up this Vistaprint order. This is the remaining of the reprint prints. I don't know where my knife is, so I'm just going to use scissors. So of the 3 prints that I needed reprinted, they actually only issued the reprint for one design mistakenly, which is why these ones are arriving later. So one was the kitties, what is it? Royal Kitties, the tuxedo one. We've gotten that one already. So this should be the mushroom and not me forgetting. Oh yeah, Red Riding Hood. These look nicely packaged. These ones are in the shrink wrap and they're in an appropriately sized box. I liked your guys' suggestion in the comments of using the corner rounder to fix the existing ones. I'm torn about whether I have to do that because the B grade ones, I'm just gonna save them for B grade mystery bundles. So I'm like, do I round the corners or not? Because with square corners, they frame better. This one's dented. Okay. This one's got a thing. Okay. That one's got a line. What the hell? Anyway, so if you're just sticking them to your wall, rounded corners would look better. But if you're framing it, it would look better if I don't round the corners because you won't even see the bend once it's in a frame. I'm still anticipating some B grades. There are always some B grades in every set of prints. And I actually have more prints I want to order now. I thought I was done. We already have over 60 prints that I ordered for this shop update, but I remembered I have some full art illustrations from my How to Draw book. Those are a bit lesser known, but they're nice. I think they would make great prints, so I might order more. There's time. There's time. Yay, Red Riding Hood. So since these are darker prints, they're on the matte paper instead of the soft touch, and I went with the Premium Plus, which feels very nice. Newt, sadly, is only on the regular Premium, not Premium Plus. This one also has a little line on it. Ugh, the top card is cursed. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to open those right now. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I guess get my vlog uploading and then what? Maybe I should just open these. Oh, baby. Tastes like potato and pierogies. Ma'am, what are you doing in the heat press? A Kiki Panini. You know what? Let's open this. This was in the mail earlier. Another Emily Harvey art Pinchanted pin. Listen, I just had to. I have so many of her pins, and I thought I was done because I filled up my little pin displays. But look, it's a carriage and the wheels spin. How could I not? And it says on it, enjoy the journey, trust the process. I could maybe fit it here if I do some shuffling because I had spaced them perfectly to make way for the wishing well, which I don't know if I even showed on the vlog. And look, it's on a chain. Oh! So yeah, I left a gap on here for that one, and then I bought another one. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna put on some rad backs, which will convert it to a magnet. I sell these in my shop. They're by Rad Girl Creations. Ta-da! Now I can stick it somewhere, like there. It's a little silly right now, but just think if I get more and we fill the space up. And don't worry, it's not gonna harm the computer. These are not nearly strong enough to do anything. And apparently that's not as much of a threat these days anyway with hard drives. It's like technology has evolved. Playing with my toys over here. Wee! 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 Okay, I just booked a hotel for my cousin's wedding. I've been putting that off for so long because the wedding's in a month. I finally booked that. And I'm probably just going to go upstairs and chill for the rest of the night. Maybe get in one game of Night Rain. And then Big Brother's at 9. It was worst case scenario. It's now Monday. I'm going to overlay some footage from yesterday, Sunday, because it was an order packing stream. Order packing is going mostly well. I looked at how many orders we've gotten since the actual launch day, and it's 164. 164 orders for the made to order launch. Now, not all of those orders have apparel items in them, but the vast majority do. And a lot of people also got more than one thing. So that's more than 164 things Christian has to embroider. It's well over 200. And we only have 2 embroidery machines. So it'll take us a little while to get through these. We're gonna go through them in the order they came in. And we had a bit of a hiccup towards the beginning of the stream where I needed to print off more orders for Christian to do, but we didn't know where we left off because we had printed a pick list that contains the items for multiple orders, and we didn't know what order number we left off at. So first I just skipped ahead to an area I knew was safe and printed those off. And he only got 3 items deep into that list. But here's what I ended up doing. Once I had all the stuff packed that he had made, then I could tell what orders we had left to do. So I've printed off the pick lists and they're in batches of 20. So this is a 20 order range and I've written the orders at the top and it says number 1, that's the one we do first. And so yeah, it's got all the items in those 20 orders. So he'll embroider this stuff, and then when he's done that, he moves on to number 2 and embroiders everything in that list. There are a few checked off because those are the ones he already did when he was jumping ahead. But we're going back to here. We're putting those other ones on pause. So I've got 5 sets of 20 printed out, and there's more to print out, but I'm just waiting for it to hit the 20 order threshold. Then I can print the papers out. We're close. We're in the high teens right now. And this is enough to keep him busy for quite a while. And since I had Christian embroidering on Sunday, he has today off instead, because usually he has both Saturday, Sunday off. But I asked if he could embroider yesterday so that we could get more stuff out for today's mail pickup. And speaking of that, I want to show you all the bags. So there's this, and this. Not that one. That one's the trash. And somehow this is only 28 orders. That's not very many per bag here. And it also feels like such a small dent in the 164 orders. Oh. And we had another hiccup where we went to do the first Halloween Cats pocket tees, and Christian had made a few of them, and I'm looking at them and I was like, the design is too low in the pocket. We need to raise it. But we couldn't remember our measurements of where we put the design. Like we could have sworn it was a 1/2 inch away from the top of the pocket, but he was going a 1/2 inch down. And I eventually realized that we were going like a little bit up above the pocket because, you know, you got to like line everything up on the machine. The machine has a little laser and it's like you have to align it so the embroidery is actually stitching in the pocket properly. Whereas with other stuff, we hoop it where we want it and we don't have to move the design. We just throw it on the machine. But with the pocket tees, you can't hoop it exactly in the same spot around the pocket every time. So you have to manually align the design. And so there was some trial and error involved. And we ended up with a good chunk of B grades. And we had to redo them. Well, he had to redo them. And I had a feeling that was going to happen because I couldn't remember exactly how we aligned the cat design. And so we had a few mess ups. But other than that, order packing's been going quite well. And yes, we're going to be restocking stuff. We'll continually restock the blanks as stuff runs out. I just placed an order last night. I couldn't get everything. Oh, the fan is on. Oh! I could hear a little noise. The camera, the order packing camera, was still on, and the fan on the back of it that keeps it cool was also on, and that's what I heard. Anyway, I couldn't restock everything, and some of the stuff that was sold out to begin with is still sold out. I still can't get it. Like certain sizes were quantity 0 right off the bat just because I couldn't get them. And there's no alternate website to get it from because all the blanks companies in Canada share inventory, so... For size small, I'll have 3 in stock. For medium, large, extra large, I'll have 5 of each in stock. For 2XL through 4XL, it'll be 3 in stock. And then for 5XL, 2 in stock. So that's pretty low. If a lot of people are after the same thing, like in this case, the black zips, it's going to sell out fast, but we just can't stock that many. Although for the black zips, I did order more than those quantities I just listed because I know it's popular right now. So I restocked double or close to double. I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy with it. We only have so much space, right? So I ordered a few extra of the black, but yeah, those are the quantities we have for stuff. I did order more than that initially, but it took up too much space in the house, so I reduced it slightly to the quantities I just stated. And part of the reason we're overflowing with blanks is because for certain 4XL, 5XL blanks, I had to order them by the case, so I have way too many of those. The upstairs closet in the front porch is full of 4XL, 5XL blanks. But anyway, everything's going mostly well. We've had a couple hiccups, but we're sorting through them. And yeah, now I'm going to switch over to some art because I want to work on the Gazebo Cats art. So I'm drawing it digitally, and my goal is to get through that digital sketch today, like a clean sketch that I can then trace onto mixed media paper to color with markers and pencil. So yeah, I want that clean sketch done today. I do still have to do more vlog editing today, and I'm doing a game stream tonight because I have to cancel tomorrow's because we're seeing Lion King live. And I've been canceling so many streams lately that I'm like, okay, instead of just skipping it, I'm gonna do a makeup stream, so that's also tonight. So let's stop wasting time and get to the art. So, gazebo cats. You saw me sketch the gazebo in a previous vlog. I was using a reference photo for the majority of the design elements, and I have the grid in the background so that can help me keep my lines straight and whatnot. So I don't know if the perspective is quite correct because my vertical lines are perfectly vertical. They don't taper at all, but whatever. Plus, with this view, you see the floor of the gazebo, but also some of the underside of the ceiling of the gazebo. Does that make sense? I don't know, but I think it looks all okay, good enough, you know? And here I forgot to hit record on my camera, but luckily Procreate saves the recording. So here I'm doing the chair and the table that are going to go in the gazebo because I was doing the vertical rails, but then I was like, well, I don't want to draw in all the rails in the back if I don't need to draw them all because the table and chair are going to overlap a lot. And so I left that blank, drew table and chairs, and I struggled with that, with the perspective. Once I put them in place, I had to do some adjustments, and I was like, I think for the table, we would see it approximately exactly side on. Same for the seat of the chair-ish. We see a tiny bit of the top of the seat of the chair. The railing's a little silly. Like, the front of the railing is sitting higher than the back part of the railing, but that's how it looked in the real life photo. And so I kept it like that, but I don't know, that part bothers me slightly. But yeah, then I had to add in a whole bunch of other elements. So for some trees, greenery, we're doing it similar to forest cuddles, similar to the lemon tree leaves, although these trees I think are just going to be greenery. I don't plan on having any kind of fruit or flower on these trees. And then the idea is that any blank space I leave in the background gets filled in just in marker, kind of again like forest cuddles where I drew the hut, I drew the border stuff, and then the branches and stuff in the background I added just in marker. They were not outlined, just so it keeps it more subtle. So most of the stuff I'm sketching now is going to be what's outlined, and then other details not outlined, if that makes sense. Even for things like that railing I was talking about behind the table and chairs, I might not really have that outlined. I might just draw it in marker so it kind of fades into the background a bit more. Plus, it's just so detail heavy. Like, first of all, the railing pieces, the vertical pieces, they have no thickness. I drew them as just flat pieces because when I added the thickness lines, it looked way too busy. So I'm trying to simplify it a little bit, you know, otherwise it's going to be a little too much. And then there's the greenery around the gazebo because I thought that would be a cute touch. And I have different clusters of plants around it. Don't ask me what they all are. I just kind of made some stuff up. And then what I was saying about not outlining everything behind the railing, that same is going to apply to this bush in the back on both sides. There's a bush on both sides. So I've only drawn it up to the railing, and then whatever details behind the railing, I'm going to do mostly in marker. There might be some very faint pencil outlines, but again, don't want it too busy, but also just trying to push some stuff to the background, you know, not have as much detail in some of those background elements. Now on the other side, first I played around with just duplicating the plants from the other side out of laziness. And then I was like, no, I gotta draw something different. Plus in my original little doodle in my sketchbook, I had a potted plant here at the front and I wanted to stick with that. So I drew that in and we got a variety of flowers and such in there. I was just kind of winging it. It's not based off any kind of reference or anything, but I think it looks pretty cute. I guess you could say it's kind of based off a potted plant I put together earlier this year, and most of it died. And it had the little droopy parts hanging over the pot. Yeah. And I decided I'm not going to draw in the base of the pot. It was sketched in, but I did not draw it in the end. And I should add a little bit of tufts of grass in front of it, I think. There's more detail to do in this, because let me tell you, I did not finish it. I said my goal was to finish the clean sketch. I did not, but I got really close, okay? We're missing maybe just like 4 cats and maybe some props like cat toy or extra design elements I want to add to this, because the idea is it is a very busy illustration. And it makes me wonder if I should do bigger prints for it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Just because, you know, it'll look great as 5x7, but there's so much detail we won't see that. I did the same thing with Squeaky Seamstress because that was so detail heavy, although the big prints didn't sell that well. So I'm torn about it. We'll see. Haven't decided. Here I'm fixing some of the tufts of grass because they were very pointy and I realized they should be a little softer. Do them a little round or cartoony, you know? Then there's the foreground plant, which is a bush with a couple of flowers in front of it. Just, you know, fill in the space. Yeah. Trying to get in all the main design elements before adding in the cats. But because I did my initial thumbnail sketch, I knew roughly where I wanted some of the cats to go, so I was leaving some space. And then here, the curly things. What? Oh, someone in chat told me what they're called. I think valance? Valance? Is that the term? For the little corner decorative elements, because just the gazebo alone, it's so geometric, so square, right angles, ew, ew, ew. So, you know, we got to add some curvy bits to make it feel a little more organic. So things like the chair and table help, the valances, then I'm adding in some vines winding through all these areas. And of course the kitties will help as well. But yeah, this is a very ambitious illustration. I thought this speed paint portion would be 5 minutes tops. I'm like, I'm limiting it to 5 minutes. And then I trimmed down the clips and I was like, oh, this is 12 minutes. And so I sped up the clips even further, got it to 10 minutes. So this is a big 10-minute speed paint section. But I have to include all this. I don't want to cut more out. You know, it's a very detailed illustration. There are so many parts to it. And so it's just going to be long. It's just going to be long because I don't want to trim it down any further. I like the way it's going. So. Now, one thing I wonder about this is, do I have enough space on the sides of the gazebo? Because the plan was to shrink it down, but then I decided to not shrink down the gazebo because like there's so much detail. If I make it too small, we're not going to see all the cats and the details in the gazebo. I still want the gazebo to take up the majority of the illustration, but I feel like there's not a lot of leftover space along like the sides and the bottom. Like, should I extend it a little bit? Like, this will be the crop for a 5x7 print, but should I extend it a little more just for the sake of having some wiggle room if I ever put it on a different product like notebook or I don't know. So I'm debating extending it a little bit. But it'll be kind of like low detail, like intended to be cropped off, but it's just there as a safety, if that makes sense. We'll see. We'll see. Now getting on to the kitties. So first I drew one kind of peeking around the pole, and then I thought maybe that would fit better on the other side because I wanted a scratching kitty on this side. Technically, either could have gone on either side, but I kind of wanted a hammock up high in the middle on the other side. And so since this scratching kitty's taller, I put it on the left hand side since hammock is going on the right hand side. Now this foreground cat, I really struggled with. I have these clips sped up twice as fast as all the other clips because I spent that long on this freaking cat. At first I was trying to use a reference photo of a cat walking, but it wasn't quite at the angle I wanted it, like the viewpoint and perspective. Also, the cat was walking with its right hand legs going forward and the other one's going back. But it felt so weird to me. Like, I didn't like that. I wanted the left hand legs going forward. So I was just winging it. And that's why I struggled so hard. I was like, how am I drawing a cat walking from this angle, still have it look good? And then I was like, do I want tail up, tail down, switching all kinds of things up? It took a long time, and I think I still need to tweak it a little bit further because its rear leg still looks like it's going backwards instead of being planted straight down, I feel like. I don't know. Might need a few more tweaks. And that's the beauty of doing this digitally, because doing something this complicated, drawn purely traditionally on paper, I don't think I could do it. I need the digital aspect to get like all the details down from the gazebo to the cats themselves. Just being able to like nudge a cat, move it a little bit, or like, oh, its torso's not long enough, let's just elongate this. Trying to do that traditionally would be a nightmare. So yeah, my thing lately has been doing my sketches for my big illustrations digitally before moving to doing the rest traditionally because it saves my butt, makes things so much better, and honestly I think my illustrations are better for it. So then we have the rooftop kitty just being silly, reaching down. Is it reaching for the vine? I don't know, maybe. It's just being a little silly. Probably the vine's blowing in the wind a little bit and he's pawing at it, attacking it, as kitties do, being playful. And then I figured on the chair we could have a sleeping kitty. It just fits perfectly right on there. And that's as far as I got. We need more cats. We need more details. There's more work to be done. So I guess stay tuned for future vlogs to see more progress on this. But we're getting so close and I'm getting so excited because this has been a bit of a beast, this illustration so far. And seeing the sketch coming together, it's making me feel real good. And I'm very proud of it. Anyway, that's the end of this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. So this one, it's the same style of bag as the other one. The only difference is that instead of pattern all over, we've got a different art on the front flap. And then the pattern is everywhere else. It would look cute just this all over, but it just worked out too perfectly to